For today's video, I thought I could do a show and tell of all of the games I have in my games collection. I'm gonna start with the smallest one, and we'll go by size from smallest to biggest. So, the smallest one I have is a card set from Winnie the Pooh. This is super old. I've had it for many years. They are smaller than the normal size cards, and on the back they all have the same design with the main Winnie the Pooh characters. I don't even remember where I bought this set, but the brand seems to be the United States Playing Card Company. In the set, all of the aces have the same design, and all of the twos have the same design. So I'll show you them. This is the aces design. And next we have Piglet. I used to be obsessed with Piglet when I was little. My mom said that one time I asked her to break the TV so I could take Piglet out and play with him. And then we have just Winnie the Pooh. This is a cute one on the 4s. And on the 5s we have Winnie the Pooh with a butterfly. Another fun one. And Winnie the Pooh again with some flowers. This is actually my favorite one, I think, is Igor with birthday balloons. And these are the design for the 9s. Look at this one's also so cute. Getting some honey. And butterfly hunting. And a fishing one with all of the 4 main characters. And last but not least, we have the Joker design. And then all of the designs repeat. So this is the first one in my game collection, just a card set. I don't really know many card games, but my actual favorite game to play with cards when I was younger was one where you would just have to match the designs. So you would put all of the cards facing down, and you'd be able to flip only 2 cards at a time until you could make a match. So that was my first game. My second game that I can show you is called Dobble. And this one, I would say, is the one that I like the most now that I'm an adult. It is so fun to play, and it can get quite competitive as well. I've actually taken this game into school to play with my students, and people of all ages. It's also a card game, and I believe these are the directions on how to play many different versions of the game. So on the back side, all of the cards have the Dobble name and logo. And then on the other side, they all have a few pictures. They all have different pictures, but each card has at least one picture that matches another card. So for example, even though these two cards have different images, I see both of them have the apple. And here, even though this one doesn't have the apple, I see these both cards have the clown. Right? These two have the yin yang. So there are many ways to play games with double cards, but I'll tell you my two favorites. So my favorite way to play is you all start with just one card, and every player starts with just one card, and then there's a pile of cards in the middle, and you have to match a picture from the pile of cards to the card that you have. So for example, over here I might say apple, and then I can take that card, or I might say igloo and take that card, right? And then at the end, when there's no cards left, the player that has accumulated the most cards wins. My other favorite way to play is the opposite. Instead of trying to accumulate cards, you're trying to get rid of cards. So each player starts with however many cards, so that everyone has an equal amount. Let's say you start with 10 or 20. And then in the center, you only place one card. I need to match a picture from my card to the middle card to be able to get rid of a card. So I might say water drop and get rid of it, igloo and get rid of it. And then at the end, the player that gets rid of all of their cards first, or the quickest, wins. There are some other variations of the game where instead of getting rid of your cards to a middle pile, you get rid of your cards and put them on another player's pile. And those get super dangerous, because people get really passionate and they just start smacking each other and, dropping cards left and right. So yeah, this one is quite fun to play. If you don't have it and you like playing games, I highly recommend it. The next game in my collection is this itty bitty Parcheesi game. I think it's called Parcheesi. And this one, I think, has decor from one of the World Cups. I think from the Brazil World Cup. It is so cute because, if you can't tell, they made it inside a CD box. And look at the itty bitty tiny dice that it has. It is very cool because all of the little pieces, they actually are magnetic so that they don't fall. 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, storing your games. Or also if you are ever traveling and you want to travel with a game, these are also pretty convenient. My next game in my game collection is Chutes Ladders. This one also comes with an itty bitty dice and I don't know what you call these, but you know, these little pieces that each player uses, they also are magnetic so that they can stick to the game board and not fall off. Let's pretend I'm just starting. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3. I honestly don't know where I have bought most of my games. A lot of these I've had for years. Like, I'm talking over 2 decades. So here it is. And it's even smaller once you close it for storage. Look at the size. It's about the size of your hand. Okay, my next game that I have, it's another itty bitty game. Maybe all of these ones I bought from the same place. Or I think actually my mom got me most of these when I was way younger. Because some of these I've had since I was like 10 years old. Or even younger, probably, honestly. And this one is a chess set. Now, I'll be honest with you and say, this one I have never used. And the reason why, it's because I've never learned how to play chess. Look at how tiny the pieces are. They are smaller than my thumbnail. That is so cute, and again, they're all magnetic so that you don't accidentally lose them. They can stick on your game board and not fall off. These remind me of Harry Potter. Oh my goodness, look at the little horse one. I don't know the name of chess pieces, but that little horsey is so cute. Yeah, so I never learned how to play chess. I really admire people who learn how to play. I think it has to be quite a bit complicated, or at least complicated to become a good player. But yeah, I have it anyway. next game I have is Uno, but Uno, the Hello Kitty version. If you've seen some of my other videos, I think it was my Do Laundry With Me video, where I showed you some of my Hello Kitty clothing, and I told you that I love Hello Kitty. So my friends have gifted me a few Hello Kitty games and many other Hello Kitty items for past birthdays and Christmases. It came with 2 different sets, and the cards all have the same design on the back, but they have different designs on the other side. I actually don't really know the name of many other Hello Kitty characters. But I do find them all very, very cute. The next game I have in my game collection is the regular Uno cards. This one's you are probably already familiar with. Nothing special about them, just the regular Uno set. Okay, the next game I have in my game collection is a portable Chinese checkers set. Now the games are getting a bit bigger. They're a bit bigger than my hand now. And this one actually is also magnetic, has magnetic pieces, so that you don't lose the pieces of the game. We keep all of the pieces neatly in little plastic bags. And as you can see, they have magnets on the bottom so that you don't lose them when you play. The next game I have is one of my favorites. It is the Guess Who game. But look how cool and compact you can save it and store it. It came in a box, but I think I threw the box away. You don't even need the box to store the game. So the 2 game boards this little sleeve, there's a pocket for the cards. Now look at how tiny the cards are. They are almost the size of my thumb. And if you've never played this game, the way you play is you and the other player each have one card. So let's say that is my card, and let's say this is the other player's card. Then your job is to try to guess which card the other player has. So you might ask them questions like, do they have black hair? And the other player will say no. So then I can put down all of the cards that show a character who has black hair. And then the other player will ask me a question. So they might ask, is your character a girl or a woman? And I'll say no. So then they'll have to put down all of the characters who are women, because that's not my character. At the end of the game, when you're done asking questions, let's say after my friend is done asking me questions, they only have one character left. So they'll say, is your character Frank? And I'll say, yes, my character is Frank. And they'll win that round. This is a really fun game to play. And when I was younger, I had the big version of the game, which was like a full-size game board. But obviously, this itty-bitty set is way cuter and takes up less space to store. The next game I have in my collection is Boggle. And if you've never played Boggle, Boggle is a game from the makers of Scrabble. So it's another one of those games where you have to make words. It is really fun to play. It has this little box, and you shake all of the letters inside the box. And when you're done shaking, you open up the box and you start a timer. I think this might be just like a 1-minute timer. And then you have 1 minute to write down as many words as you can find as possible. You have to use letters that are next to each other. You cannot skip letters. And you, I believe, get extra points if any of the letters you use has one of these circles around it. So, for example, I can write down the word look, L-O-O-K. That would be look. I might also be able to write down the word, let's see, kit, K-I-T, kit, or set, S-E-T, set, pod, P-O-D, pod. And at the end of the minute, the player who has the most points based on the words, because if you have words that are shorter, they're worth less points. But if you have words that are longer, they're worth more points. So here, if you have a word that is 3 letters, you get 1 point. But if you have a word, let's say that is 5 letters, that's worth 2 points. 7 letters, that's 5 points. And so at the end of the round, whoever wrote the words that get them the most points wins that round. It is really fun to play, and I've played with people of different ages as well, and it is really fun. Sometimes my family and I also like to play it bilingually, so we'll be able to write words in multiple languages, and that's also pretty fun. The next game in the set is, I believe, my last miniature version game, and it is the miniature version of Battleship. It says ages 7 and up. You can tell by how yellow the plastic is that I've had this for many years as well. This is a Hasbro game. This one I think I actually bought at maybe Toys R Us. But I actually think Toys R Us has closed since, at least here in New York. So on the inside, it has all of the little ships. Look at the tiniest one. It's like the size of my thumbnail. It has all of the ships, and it has white little pieces for when the other player doesn't hit your ships, or for when you don't hit the other player's ships. And then red ones for when you hit the other player's ship, when you find their ship, or for when they hit your ship. So if the other player is taking a guess and says H3, this is H, 1, 2, 3, they hit my ship. So I'm going to have to place one of the red ones in. And at the end of the game, whichever player has hit all of the ships or sank all of the ships from the other player wins. This one I've played quite a bit. The next game I have, I don't know what it's called. But it reminds me of like a Rubik's Cube. I have never, ever been able to solve this. It doesn't matter how long I try. I've actually even watched YouTube was younger, I never really played with Rubik's Cubes. But yeah, hats off to the people that are good at solving like these types of puzzles, because I found it incredibly difficult. It sort of looks like a nice mini sculpture to put on top of like a coffee table or something. But at least for me, not very fun to play. If anything, it like stressed me out to try to solve it. And I've only tried a couple times. This was actually my husband's. It wasn't mine. It was his, and when we moved in together, I thought, oh, this is pretty cool. Let me give it a try. But nope. Okay. The next game I have, it's honestly quite a boring game. But I think one of our friends got this for my husband and I. It's called Let's Get Closer. Questions that strengthen bonds and build relationships. Connect on a deeper level. It says, an easy-to-play card game that cultivates relationships by engaging friends, family members, couples, or even those who have just met in deep and meaningful conversation. The cards are separated into 3 levels: close, closer, and closest. Each progressive level poses questions that become more personal, challenging players to share and strengthen their bond. I think we only played it maybe twice. I don't know if you're playing with like a fun group of friends that would make this like fun and funny and silly, then it would be fun. Otherwise, it's more of like a serious conversation starter, I would say. Let's go ahead and start with the closer one. Maybe let me do one of each. Okay, this one is a close card. Let's get close. If I was an animal, what animal would I be and why? If I were an animal, I would be a house cat, and all I would do would be nap and eat and get my belly rubbed. That would be it, and it would be a great life. Let's try the closer card. The closer card says, what is the most painful thing that happened to you in your life? Ooh. You know what? I am very lucky that not very painful things have happened in my life, but a few years ago my mom got really sick, and that was really, really hard. Let's try the closest one. What emotion do you experience the most? Honestly, it may be like stress. Like, if I'm answering for real, it's probably stress. I get stressed all the time, like 10 times a day I get stressed. If I'm trying to be optimistic, maybe I'd say joy. There's many times a day that I also feel happy or joyful, but mostly stressed, guys, which is why I watch a lot of ASMR videos. Okay, the next game I have is called Judge Your Friends, the party game of hidden secrets. And it has a very cool scalloping. So this one says, judge your friends. Whether you have a lifetime of debauchery under your belt or are just a goody little two-shoes, Judge Your Friends is the hilarious party game that's easy to play and always a good time. Just bang the gavel, learn the secrets, and find out who your friends really are. I've only ever played this once, I think. I think we played it at a New Year's Eve party. And to be honest, I don't remember very well how you play. But I don't think we liked it that much. Yeah, I can't even remember why there's money here. The defendant has broken a bone while under the influence. The defendant has made a duck face while taking a selfie. I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to say, maybe you read a card and you're supposed to say if yes you did it or not you haven't done it. And then you get money. I don't think it was that fun, honestly. Mainly because who wants to judge their friends? You know, this is a judge-free zone. I would never judge you or any friends I have. Okay. The next game I have is Jenga. The classic Jenga. This one I have also brought to school to play with my kids. It's always a hit. Kiddos love Jenga. I do wish that Jenga made maybe like foam pieces or I don't know, the type of pieces that would not make too much noise. So that when you're playing in the classroom, it wouldn't be too loud. That's some wooden tapping for you. The next game I have in my collection is called Murder at the Manor. Race against the other team as you hunt for clues in your quest to crack the case of the murder at the manor. And I think this one is a bit similar to Clue, if you've ever played Clue. It says, it's a race to figure out who done it in this murder mystery scavenger hunt. Mr. Benson, the mysterious owner of Milton Manor, has been found murdered on his estate, and it's down to your team to crack the case with 5 suspect cards, 5 location cards, and 5 weapon cards each. 2 teams go head-to-head to be the first to locate their cards. Figure out the 1 card missing from each category and correctly make their accusations. Will you be able to solve the mystery, or will you be led astray by a red herring? This one is very fun. I've played it a couple times with friends, and it is really fun. If you're someone who enjoys playing Clue, I think you would like this game. So those were all of my games that I have ever opened. still new in the packaging. I think a few of our friends have gifted them to us for birthdays or secret Santa occasions. So this first one is called Carcassonne, I guess, Carcassonne. And I think our friend who gifted this to us said we might like it because we like playing this other game called Catan. So there's this game called Catan where you sort of have to like conquer land and accumulate resources. And our friend that gifted us this one said we might like this one because it was a bit similar. So this one says, with millions of copies sold worldwide, Carcassonne has become a modern classic with its simple and varied gameplay, play styles, and score points from the ever-growing medieval landscape. Build a new landscape together. Play styles, send knights, monks, farmers, and more to claim features and score points. Perfect for large groups of 5 players or a head-to-head with challenge, or a head-to-head challenge with 2. So this one we have not opened yet. So I can't tell you if it is good or not. The next game I have, even though it is not opened, my husband and I have already played this game. Not this one, because obviously it's new and unopened. But the reason our friends got us this was because they have this game and we played it with them at their place and we really liked it. So they got it for us. The premise of the game is you're supposed to be like in sync with people in your team. It is called Wavelength. The last game I got for my birthday, and it is still in its packaging. I have not opened it yet, but obviously I've played Monopoly many times in my life. This game my best friend got for me for my birthday, and she knows I love Hello Kitty, so I was very excited when I got this game. I have not played it yet since my birthday, but I'm excited to try it out sometime. Maybe when my husband and I host a game night at our place with friends or neighbors. If you've ever played Monopoly, you know Monopoly is a long-term commitment. If you start playing, you need to be ready to have around an hour to 2 hours to be able to finish the game. So I think that's why most times when we play games, we end up playing something that doesn't take too long, you know? Like Uno and Dobble, which are games in which you can finish a round in 5 minutes or even less. But this one is so cute. And you can tell that it has a lot of really cute pieces in it. Over here you can see all of the pieces that players players can play with Hello Kitty, My Melody, Kuromi, Kurobi. This character, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. Bum Buren, Cinnamon Roll, and this character I also didn't